Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. When you think of the great houses of Westeros, who comes to mind? Stark, Lannister, Targaryen, right? But in the intricate Game of Thrones, power isn't always about who has the biggest army or the most gold. Sometimes, the most influential players are the ones operating just outside the spotlight. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the silent power players. The so-called minor houses whose actions have shaped the very destiny of the Seven Kingdoms. Forget what you think you know, because we're starting our journey in the heart of Westeros, at a fortress that has seen more than its fair share of turmoil. Let's talk about House Tully of Riverrun. Their words are family, duty, honor, and their sigil is a leaping trout. It's easy to dismiss them as just the lords of a perpetually flooded, war-torn region. But that would be a massive mistake. The Riverlands are the strategic heart of Westeros. You can't move armies from the north to the south or the west to the east without passing through their territory. This makes controlling the Riverlands absolutely essential for any would-be conqueror. And it places House Tully in a position of incredible, though often tragic, importance. Think about it. During Robert's Rebellion, it was Hoster Tully's decision to marry his daughters Catelyn and Lysa to Ned Stark and Jon Arryn that solidified the rebel alliance. Without the Tullys and the might of the Riverlands, the rebellion might have failed. Fast forward to the War of the Five Kings. Robb Stark is named king in the north. But he can't even begin his campaign without the support of his grandfather at Riverrun. The loyalty of House Tully was the bedrock of the Stark war effort. Their eventual betrayal at the Red Wedding wasn't just a family tragedy. It was the strategic blow that shattered the northern cause. Time and again, the tide of Westerosi history has turned at the crossroads, and House Tully has been the gatekeeper. They are the ultimate kingmakers, or kingbreakers. Their resilience in the face of constant invasion is nothing short of legendary. They are far more than just fish and floods. They are the steadfast, beating heart of the continent. Now, let's journey east, high into the mountains of the moon, to the seemingly impenetrable fortress of the Eyrie. This is the seat of House Arryn, one of the most ancient and proud lines of Andel nobility. Their words, as high as honor, perfectly capture their reputation as stoic, chivalrous guardians. When we meet them in the story, the house is in a state of decay under the paranoid rule of Lysa Arryn and her sickly son. Robin, it's easy to see them as a joke, a house past its prime, isolated and irrelevant. But that's only a snapshot in time. For thousands of years, the Knights of the Vale, led by House Arryn, were considered the finest heavy cavalry in Westeros. Their impregnable fortress meant they were never conquered by the Targaryens. They chose to bend the knee. This gave them a unique standing. Their political influence, despite their isolation, has been immense. Let's not forget, the entire story of Game of Thrones as we know it kicks off because of Jon Arryn. As Hand of the King to Robert Baratheon, he was the glue holding the Seven Kingdoms together for 17 years. It was his investigation into the legitimacy of Robert's children that set the entire chain of events in motion. His death created the power vacuum that plunged the realm into chaos. Even after his death, the power of the Vale remained a crucial bargaining chip. Had Lysa Arryn committed the Knights of the Vale to Robb Stark's cause, the war could have ended very differently. And when they finally did enter the fray under the guidance of Littlefinger, what happened? They smashed the Bolton army at the Battle of the Bastards, saving Jon Snow and returning Winterfell to House Stark. The Arryns prove that true strength isn't always about being on the front lines. Sometimes, it's about holding a position of such unassailable power that your decision to simply act or not act can change the world. From the highest peaks, let's travel to the hottest sands, to the sun-scorched lands of Dorne, the seat of House Martell. Their words, unbowed, unbent, unbroken, are not a boast. They are a historical fact. Dorne is the only one of the Seven Kingdoms that was never conquered by Aegon's dragons. They resisted for 2 centuries, not through open battle, which they knew they couldn't win. But through guerrilla warfare, patience, and a deep understanding of their own land, they eventually joined the Seven Kingdoms, not through conquest, but through marriage on their own terms. This history has bred a culture that is fiercely independent and politically cunning. When we think of Dorne in the show, the Sand Snakes and their quest for vengeance often dominate the conversation. But that's a disservice to the masterful political maneuvering that defines House Martell. Prince Doran Martell is the perfect embodiment of this. While others see him as weak and indecisive, he is playing a much longer game. For years, he was secretly plotting to undo the Targaryen-esque downfall and place a new dragon on the Iron Throne, a plan set in motion long before our story even begins. The Martells understand that direct conflict is a fool's game when you're outnumbered. Instead, they use patience, poison, and politics as their weapons. Their influence ripples through the kingdoms in subtle ways. Remember, it was the death of Ilya Martell and her children that created the deep-seated grudge. Oberyn Martell carried to King S Landing a grudge that led to the death of Tywin Lannister and the destabilization of Lannister power. The Martells show us that strength doesn't have to be loud, can be patient, venomous, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. So, what have we learned? House Tully's strategic position made them the pivot upon which rebellions and wars turned. House Aaron's honorable isolation gave them the power to be the ultimate deciders in key battles. And House Martell's long-game politics and patient thirst for vengeance repeatedly destabilized the most powerful players in Westeros. These houses, often relegated to the sidelines in fan discussions, were anything but minor. They were the architects of history, the force multipliers, the hidden hands that guided the fate of the realm. Their stories challenge us to rethink what power really is. It's not just about dragons and gold. It's about location, legacy, and a deep, unyielding will. Power resides where men believe it resides, and these houses commanded a unique and potent form of it. Now I want to turn it over to you. We've only scratched the surface. What other houses do you think are criminally underrated? House Manderley, House Dane. Let me know in the comments below which house you think deserves a deeper dive. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the rich lore of our favorite worlds. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.